What's up, everyone? It's your boy NormanRad89 here, bringing you another video. And for today's video, we're continuing my Directors I Love, Movies I Hate series, and this is going to be episode 2. Last month, I presented you an episode where I talked about Quentin Tarantino and we discussed The Hateful Eight, and now this month we're going to be talking about M. Night Shyamalan, and this film that he brought to us came out in 2004, so I'm going to let you kind of, while we go through the intro, take a chance maybe guessing what this film may be, and stick around. Like I said, this is just going to be my opinions on this film. That means I would love to hear from all of you in the comment section. Share your thoughts below. Now let's do this. Roll it. So, did you get a good chance to guess this 2004 M. Night Shyamalan film that I'm not very fond of at all? It's The Village, and yes, this is kind of a popular opinion being talked about, that The Village is not a widely liked film. I have come across people that love M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, that they really appreciate his story, the character acting, all that kind of stuff. There are people out there that love this, so it does have a fan base out there. It's just, I think the haters, like, there's a lot more haters that outweigh that fan base, because they're a lot louder in what they say and everything about this film. And in terms of The Village, M. Night Shyamalan 2004, this is just one for me that I've never connected with, and it's just by far the most frustrating time I've ever had watching an M. Night film for me. So right off the bat, let's start with, man, this is a banging cast. We have Bryce Dallas Howard in here. I believe William Hurt, Joaquin Phoenix, and Adrian Brody's in here as well. Sorry, it's actually been a minute since I've seen this film. I've seen it twice, but I really dislike this film so much that I just never desire to return to this film. I've given it 2 watches, and that's enough for me in my lifetime. This is one of those films for me. And with that cast, right off the bat, I list that cast to you, and you're like, that is just an amazing cast. It sounds like a cast that you could plug into almost any story and it'll work. And for me, it just doesn't. Like, with all those star-studded people, it's just quite boring. And for me, the acting, the story, the dialogue, all of it just gets to a point where I'm just bored for most of this movie. And it's about an hour and like 40-minute movie. It's something like that. It's almost 2 hours. It's like an hour and 40-minute movie. And it's just, it gets to a point for me where it just becomes too pretentious and just too self-indulgent, and I just don't like it. And it's like, man, one thing I can say though is it does look pretty good. I remember the cinematography, the colors. There are some creepy vibes that are going on in the film, and it does look gorgeous, the film, and some of the shots and stuff like that. But just, it's so slow, so trying to be methodical about the way it goes about its story, and it's just not entertaining to me at all. So it's more of a film that just kind of bores me and gets me slogged down. I'm like, damn, I'm like not feeling this vibe at all. And like I said, the pace just very, very slow. Another thing about The Village is that just, it's a film that is mostly hindered and relying on its twist. And this is one of those films for me that once you learn the twist, it affects the movie as a whole and just every viewing after that, because it doesn't, like, it's either gonna hook you or it's gonna not work. And this is one of those ones that when I learned the twist and it happened, I was greatly mad and greatly depressed about it. Like, not depressed, but I was just upset that I committed this much time to this film, and I thought it was gonna be interesting, and I thought the third act was gonna win me over, and like, we're hitting this climax, and then once you learn it and you're just like, oh, damn, are you kidding me right now? Like, so this is one of those films for me, M. Night. Like, a lot of people talk about other films of his, like Lady in the Water or The Happening, and some people mainly kind of center it around that The Village was kind of the beginning of the end for his career in terms of like the way he writes. But I'm actually a huge fan of his. There's only about, I would say, 3 films of his that I don't really enjoy, that I would probably get a negative rating. This is just the very bottom one for me, The Village, and the most atrocious one, because like I said, after I committed so much time to this story, I was just so upset with the twist. And like I said, on that second rewatch when I watched this film, that knowing the twist totally affects the movie, and it doesn't make it any more enjoyable. And like, when you're spending time with the characters, I'm just more upset that I'm like, damn, I'm going through this again, and I'm not having any more fun as I did, not any more fun at all, like, than I did that first watch. Also, even our score and our music, like, there's just nothing about this film that I find attracting. And like, when it comes to M. Night, usually it's his characters, but also the atmosphere and what he's able to craft and build with his world, and what's so interesting about it. And for me, this is the film that it's just none of that. None of that stuff hits home for me. It's lost all the magic that I usually go to see for a Shyamalan film. And yeah, this one has none of that. So that's why The Village has always been very, you know, at the bottom of the list for me in terms of his catalog of films. So The Village is one of those films that I think it's a very ambitious story. M. Night wrote this film, and like I said, this is one of those films that has kind of gained a cult following over the years, and I can kind of see some of those perspectives on when people talk about this film, but it's just like the acting and like the actors, and like there's so much weighing this film down for me that it's never one that I want to return to. And like I said, like all my memories of it are just awful memories, because I'm just like, damn, like it's one of those films that M. Night, I think we were on an M. Night high. This is at the time when The Village came out. Everybody was kind of on a high with M. Night. He was doing so many good scripts and writing these characters and kind of reinventing storytelling. And then we get this film, and it kind of like was like, nah, not really. But like I said, I still really enjoy a lot of his other films. I have yet to go see Knock at the Cabin, so once I get a chance to see that, I won't probably be able to see that in theaters. It's probably going to be like an on-demand, or whenever it hits streaming, I'll be watching Knock at the Cabin, and then I will let you know my thoughts on that film. And then I really want to plan on ranking all of his films on the channel as well. But these are just my thoughts on The Village. Like I said, I just never had such a great time with this film. In terms of a rating for The Village, I would probably give this film a 3 out of 10. It's just so slow, so boring, and with the cast and the writer and director, how it's such a director that I love, that like all this behind it, it's such a waste of potential. And that's kind of how I feel when I think about this film. So yeah, a 3 out of 10 is where The Village is going to sit for me. But like I said, these are just my thoughts and my opinions on this film. That means I would love to hear from all of you in the comment section. Share your opinions on this film. Is this a film that you're very high on in his catalog, or is it kind of in the lower tier of your M. Night films? And also, like I said, be sure to like and subscribe so you get more videos like this, because I got a lot of other content coming. And especially in March, like I said, I'm going to be tackling a special subgenre binge in March. So be sure to check that out, and you know, stay tuned to the channel so you get the announcement of what I'm going to be planning for that month. But most importantly, I want you all to have a safe and happy day. Peace out.